Check-in, check-out, or CICO, is a Tier 2 intervention that is usually delivered within a school-wide system of positive behavioral supports, or what is often known as a multi-tiered system of support. It has been shown to be an effective positive behavioral intervention for elementary, middle, and high school students. The CICO intervention is geared toward helping schools work with students who have been identified as needing additional support to improve their academic or social behaviors, and is a way to connect individual student behaviors to already existing school-wide behavioral expectations. There are 5 key steps in the CICO process. Number 1, morning check-in with a facilitator. Number 2, student receives feedback on their behavior throughout the day. Number 3, student checks out with a facilitator at the end of the day. Number 4, parents or guardians provide feedback at home each night. Number 5, data are used to determine progress on the intervention. Let's look at the first step, morning check-in with a facilitator. Each morning, each student who is receiving the CICO intervention checks in with a specified facilitator. While this person can be almost anyone the school designates, it needs to be someone who is positive. In many ways, this person will be a cheerleader for the student. It could be a paraprofessional or a school counselor, or anyone else that has some flexibility before and after school. It should not be the child's regular teacher. The facilitator will be responsible for managing all CICO data and will be the primary point of contact for students receiving the CICO intervention. Generally, the facilitator should facilitate no more than 15 to 20 students. If there are more students than that receiving the CICO intervention, additional facilitators will be needed. Here is an example of a morning check-in.
Good morning, Roxanne.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Are you ready for the day?
Yeah, there's a couple things I have to work on from yesterday, but yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, here's a copy of your daily progress report. It's going to be a wonderful day today. Please remember to be respectful with your teachers, and I will see you at the end of the day.
See ya.
Have a good one.
You too.
The morning check-in should be quick, usually 1 minute. The student will receive a daily progress report, or a DPR, each morning during check-in. The school-wide behavioral expectations are built into the DPR. Remember, the DPR is not individualized to each student. It is based on expectations of behavior for the entire school. This means that the DPR will be very specific to your school and the expectations for behaviors that are emphasized in your school. This also keeps the focus on what we want students to do instead of what we don't want them doing. Once students check in with a facilitator in the morning, they then take their DPR to their class or classes during the day. This starts the second key step of CICO, students receiving feedback on their behavior throughout the day. During this step, the student takes their DPR to class with them. At the end of the class period or during natural transitions, the student receives feedback from the teacher about their performance for each of the behavioral expectations. This is usually done by rating their performance on each expectation as either a 0, 1, or 2. A 0 means the student did not meet the expectation at all. A 1 means they partially met the expectation but could do better. And a 2 means they met the expectation for that day in that particular class. Here is an example of a teacher providing feedback during a CICO intervention.
Hey,
So how do you think you did today in
I
class?
think I did very well.
Yeah, I think you did all right too. So let's look here. For be safe today, I'm gonna give you a 2 because you stayed in your seat and you kept your hands to yourself. I know that's sometimes hard to do. For be ready, did a great job of coming in, getting your stuff, and sitting right down in your seat by the time the bell rang. So I'm gonna give you 2 there too. For be respectful, I'm gonna give you a 1 because I heard you use some disrespectful language with your peers. Okay, so we can work on that for tomorrow. All right. But overall, not a bad day at all. Okay? Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
The feedback should be 1 minute or less and specific. It also should be corrective if necessary, letting the student know what they did not do well, but also very positive and encouraging about what the student did do well. It is the responsibility of the teacher to make sure the feedback session occurs at the end of each class or during transitions between lessons. Each interaction with either a CICO facilitator or a teacher is a chance for the student to learn about their performance and receive reinforcement for appropriate behavior. At the end of the day, the student takes the DPR back to the facilitator for the third step in the CICO process, checkout. During checkout, the facilitator provides some quick feedback on the student's performance that day and collects data on the student performance by either summarizing the points for the day for the student or having the student summarize the points. The facilitator then records student performance. Students who meet daily goals that have been set are then reinforced in whatever way the CICO team has developed. This could involve students earning tickets as part of a school-wide system or students earning individual tokens that can be exchanged in a CICO store or treasure chest. Here's an example of an end-of-the-day checkout.
Hello, Roxanne.
Hello.
It is great to see you.
It's good to see you too.
How was your day today?
It was very good.
Wonderful. Let's take a look at your daily progress report for the day. You did have a great day today. Let me add up the totals for each of your categories. You scored over an 80% in each category and an overall a 92% for the day. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You earned your tickets for the day. Now let's have an even better day tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna give you a copy of this back. If you just take this home and have your parents sign here, and I'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Have a great day.
You too.
Remember, the checkout process with the facilitator should be as positive as possible. The teacher should have provided the necessary corrective feedback during the day, allowing the checkout process with the facilitator to be as positive and encouraging as possible. The fourth step of CICO involves parents or guardians providing feedback on student performance at home. This means that students bring the DPR home and share it with the parents or guardians, and have it signed so it can be returned to school the next day. This step is designed to allow an adult at home to review student performance and provide feedback in a positive and encouraging way. Some schools send home an electronic DPR by email, but most have students take a hard copy home. Here is a brief example of this step in the CICO process.
Hello, Roxanne. How's your day today?
It was good, but it could improve.
How could it be improved? How can it make it better for you?
Being more respectful to my peers and teachers.
I'm proud of you, so let's do a better job tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Remember, this process is not designed to punish the student if they did not score highly on the DPR. It is important that the school teaches parents how the CICO system is used and what the parent role in the process is. As with every other step in the CICO process, this step should be a positive experience for both student and parent. If parents are overwhelmed by daily communication, it is okay to communicate a little less frequently, maybe even once per week, if that is what the parent desires. That doesn't change anything about the CICO process at school. The important thing to remember is that this step helps to open up communication between the student, the school, and the parents or guardians. The final step in the CICO process is to use the data that have been collected for decision-making about the effectiveness of the intervention. Generally, the goal is for students to earn 80% of their possible daily points. However, some students will need to start with a lower percentage as a goal and gradually work toward the 80% mark. A data-based decision rule will guide the delivery of reinforcement for each student. Each student can access reinforcement if they reach whatever goal the CICO team decides is appropriate for that particular student. The reinforcement can be delivered by the CICO facilitator. The facilitator also can periodically do a quick scan of performance for all students to determine who is responding to the intervention and those who may need additional assistance. This will allow the CICO team to spend more time focusing on the students with the greatest needs during their team meetings. Schools can simply use Excel spreadsheet programs or a Google Doc program to house and provide a visual representation of their performance data. The team should also be evaluating the intervention as well. If a significant portion of the students receiving the CICO intervention are not responding at desirable rates, the team should work to determine which elements of the intervention are not working and make adjustments as necessary. Check-in, check-out is a Tier 2 systematic intervention that lets schools work with multiple students at one time who have been identified as needing additional support to improve their behavior. Once a school becomes comfortable with their implementation of CICO, it can be easy to adapt the system to other behaviors that may need attention, including attendance, academic skills, or internalizing behaviors like students who are shy, withdrawn, or anxious. The CICO system has been shown to be effective in improving the behavioral outcomes of students in elementary, middle, and high schools. It is a positive approach that increases the probability of success for students when they need an additional level of support. Remember, successful students mean successful teachers, which means a successful school.